So how do we find the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of a 19 gone? That's what I have. You might have something different. So notice the key on this one, the key word is sum. It doesn't say each. Let me write that. Not each. Well, how are we going to do this? Well, if you go back to the notes, we have a formula. Let me grab that formula for you. There it is. So here's the formula sheet from the notes. And these formulas right here, excuse me, are for insided regular polygon, and it's each angle. So each interior, each exterior, each central. And this is a central angle. This is an interior angle, and this is exterior. This question says exterior. So I'm going to grab the exterior formula. By the way, notice those guys are the same. The formula for exterior and central are the same, it turns out. So exterior 360 over n. So I'm going to go, okay, 360. So, but that's each. Let's be careful here. Each exterior angle is 360 over n. Each exterior angle is 360 over n. So what are we going to do? Each exterior angle is 360 over n. So
add all of them together once you get whatever 360 over n is.
Yeah, it's actually a little tricky. So this is each exterior angle. Yeah, right. And we want the sum. The sum means add them up, right? Sum means add them up, total them. Sum of all exterior angles. That's what they're asking us for, right? The sum total, add them up of all the exterior angles. Well, how do we do that? How do we, well, we have to add up this formula several times, don't we? We have to take 360 over n plus 360 over n. We have to do that for the first angle. Then we have to do it for the second angle. Remember, each of the exterior angles is 360 over n. 360 over n for the third.
Isn't the answer always 360?
Yes, it is, Paulina. Why is that?
Because you're just going to add them up to the number of sides you have, and that's going to equal 360.
I didn't understand the logic there. So why does it add up to 360?
Well, because kind of if you go backward from one angle, you get the answer by dividing it by the number of sides. So if you have one side and you multiply it by the number of sides, it's going to be 360.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Let me show it so everybody sees it. Well done. Yes, Paulina has got it. I like that. The answer for every one of us to question number 2 is simply 360. You can go and fill that in right now. No matter what this says, you don't have to do anything with that 19 or whatever number you have. Paulina's right on the money. The answer is just a simple 360. Let me show you what Paulina was saying, why that, but I want you to see the why, because again, you're becoming teachers of this, so you want to really understand what Paulina was saying is right on the money. Let me expand it a little bit in case it didn't make sense for everybody. Yeah, she's right. So if you basically, so we're to add up a whole bunch of 360 over n's, right? We're trying to take first angle, second angle, third. They're each of them. Each exterior angle is 360 over n. So we're going to add up a bunch of them. Okay. Well, so we're going to add all these up. How do you add up a bunch of these? Well, so what did I have? I had 19. So this would be the 19th angle, right? Was mine. You might have had a different number. Let's just think for a minute. I had 19. So how do you add up the same number? How are we going to add up 360 over n, 360 over n, 360 over n, 360 over n 19 times? I have 19 of those, right? What if I asked you to add up the number 7, let's say? You'll teach this to kids, right? You say you got the first one, the second one, the third one, etc., all the way to the 19th. What if you asked some kids and you said, in your classroom one day, and you said, all right, you're going to add up 7 19 times. What's the quick way to do that?
Wouldn't it be 7 times 19?
Beautiful. You just multiply by 19. That's part of how I hope you will introduce multiplication, is show them that it's just repeated addition. It's a quick way to add a bunch of numbers. Right. So you would just take that number that you're adding every time and multiply it by 19 because there's 19 of them. Well, can we do that same thing here? We're adding this same formula every time, 19 times. So can't we just say, well, this is 360 over n times 19? Right? Does that make sense? It's the same thing as adding a bunch of 7s, except we're adding up the formula 360 over n a bunch of times, 19 times. Now, one more change. I happen to have 19. You might have a different number. But remember what n is? Number of sides. So you think, well, yeah, but that's 19. Yeah, it is for my case. But let's just call it n. Instead of 19, let's just call it n, because that's what it is. It's the number of sides. I know my particular one, it's 19. You might have a different number, but in general, it's n. So really, this is the nth angle. Again, I know in my case, it's 19, but it could be any different number. It's the nth angle. It's the last one. There's n different sides in different angles. So we're actually adding up n 360 over n's. And this is what Paulina was mentioning. How do you multiply n times 360 over? You put it over 1, cross cancel the n's. That's why the answer is 360. Because the n's cancel. That's why the n's don't matter. Do you see that? Because you actually, I know I had 19 sides and you might have a different number, but in general, we have n sides. That's what n means, right? Number of sides, number of angles, same thing. So there's n of these. So how many 360 over n's do we have? We have n of them. So we're adding up 360 over n times. So multiply by n. The n's cross cancel and drop out. The answer is always 360. That's why the answer is 360. So this is a little tricky. This is what's hard to keep it all straight on an exam. This is the sum. That's why this is different than some of the other problems. Most of the other ones on this homework. This is asking for the sum, the total of all the exterior angles, not just one of them. So if you add up all of them, you got to take the formula for each one, n times, the n's drop out, it's just 360. Just like that, the answer is 360.